We are back in my mom's garden right now. And for those of you who don't know, I have been taking care of this garden for about 3 years. I started the year that my mom got sick and she could no longer take care of it. So I came down here not being very good at gardening and tried to do everything I could. And then after she passed, I continued to take care of it. So this is my 3rd year and it's a beautiful disaster. She kept it so well maintained. I'm gonna try and find a clip and put it in right here. Lettuce that I planted probably a week ago, and it is doing fantastic. Coming right along. And there's still my strawberry patch still producing strawberries. I don't know when I really should cut them all down because they're doing so well. And this is their gym room. They come in here in the morning with me. And I try to keep them out of the beds, but they just love to play in the beds. Run around. Fine, but you can see that. And some of them are a little small right now, but we still get some big ones. Oh, hello bees. Yes, the bees are pollinating this morning. So, see, that's a beautiful one right there. And it is so overgrown weeds. You know, it's a lot of work when you don't live at the same place that you garden. I mean, it's a lot of work anyways, let alone if you don't live here. So we've had a lot of weed problems with crabgrass and bindweed, slash devil's weed, and a lot of pest problems, or like squirrels eating whole entire plants this year. But I'm going to show you what's going well so far, what's not doing well. Yeah, just show you how everything is looking right now. So the other day I came and I worked for about 3 hours and pulled all of this. And so weeded the bed right over there, just weeded pretty much like this whole front part. I majorly need to trim this back. Look at that rosemary. And then these guys are just all going crazy. This already hit its prime. It was beautiful flowers. They are dead, so I need to chop those and give space for other things. The melons are doing. This is Royal Golden Melon Sweet. I can't even remember all of them. But at the end, I basically just started throwing plants in. Here's a couple other melons. And here is, I believe, cantaloupe. This, sadly, is the strawberry bed that not only got overtaken by weeds, but there was a water issue. Like they're better over here. This keeps happening like it did on the other garden. So I need to get that tape like I did last time and fix that so that it will water the rest. I'm hoping that they'll come back next year and that they're not actually dead. Kind of sad about, like in my last video, I posted that we lost a lot of peppers due to the water not working. This last year was covered with shishitos. I had shishitos coming out of my ears. And now we only have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're not even doing that great. The water has been a really big issue. Now you can see how we really need to get all these weeds taken care of. They're the worst. They're the foxtail kind they're horrible. My tomatillos are actually doing pretty good. Let's hope that they actually produce well this year. But I have 3 in there because you need at least 2. Those are the grapevines, but look at this. It's actually really great for pictures, but really horrible for gardens. So this is our spaghetti squash and our butternut squash, and they are doing well. I planted a ton of them as well because they kept getting eaten by things. So there's probably, I think there's 4 over here, which is probably more than I would have had, but I didn't want to not have any at all. So this side, the one that was in the middle, got eaten, but we should still get a good amount. So many on this guy. These plants are doing really healthy and I'm really happy about it. This is the other potato bed that I've actually tried to make not a potato bed, but I always forget potatoes in there. So it's just become the other potato bed. But this was literally last week. I should have videoed, but I just didn't want to. I wasn't in the mood. This was completely full of weeds. Like this is right here. It was everywhere. You could barely tell what was what. This is a mulberry tree that I need to figure out what to do with. It volunteered there. Raspberries. Now they're pretty much done. Sadly, while we were on vacation is when we should have picked a lot of them. So I'm trying to just take the dead ones off so they'll still produce. But it's a black raspberry. And this raspberry over here is still producing. I'm doing pretty good. And this one doesn't have thorns, which is kind of fabulous. I have tried to grow something on this trellis multiple times, this one. Every year I have tried to grow something that would vine, and every year it fails. I tried yard long beans, those didn't work great. I tried loofah this year, it didn't work. I really need to cut this back, like really bad. This weed is everywhere. Oh, what happened? I just put a tomato over here just because, and it looks like it got knocked over. I need to fix it. This is sadly the tomatoes. Like the last video I showed you, most of the tomatoes got eaten by an animal, but we have one right here, we have one over there, and 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm not quite sure what's going on with this one. I don't think it's getting enough water, so I need to figure that out. But I did just get these tomatoes and started those, propagated them. So I'm gonna put them in and see if we'll get some more. I don't even know which ones these are because I just took them off. I pruned and then put them in water, and I figured I'll figure it out once they bloom. Let's see if they make it though, because it's really hot, and even though these are hardened off, they might not do well. This is the other potato bed. That is basically a weed bed. There are potatoes, like this is a potato, but I haven't even seen them flower yet. It's just between snakeweed, bindweed. It's just really been rough. So I still do get, this has happened the last couple years, where I still do get some potatoes, but it's just not a crazy ton. Like look, this bindweed, it just chokes everything out. Beautiful flowers, but it will destroy whatever you have. Beautiful comfrey plant that has taken over most of this bed. I need to harvest and make some more salves and save it all. This little guy almost died. I don't even remember what it is. Some kind of, I think maybe a cucumber, but it's coming back. This volunteered. This is a cucamelon. I didn't actually plant this year, but it volunteered back. I need to train this little guy to go up. I'll just train him to go up. I actually did plant pumpkins over here. They're gone. Don't know what happened to them. But the pumpkins on this side are doing well. And this is where all my garlic was that I just harvested a few days ago, and I planted just a bunch of flowers. Here are some other peppers that are not doing amazing. You can tell which ones are being watered really well. We've just had a really hard time with water this year. Yeah, hopefully they'll do okay once they get going. Are most of my peppers, which I am glad and happy to say that some are finally taking off. This middle area, not sure what's going on there. But, I mean, the amount of peppers I had planted to the amount that are actually doing well is kind of sad. This, I do not know what this is. Does anybody know what this is? I just figured out what those were. I took a picture and looked it up. It's a ground cherry. I knew they looked familiar. The only problem is, those will take over, and they are in my pepper bed. Where I had those ground cherries at was over by that one where I just put like that one tomato, and there were hundreds that fell, and not one of them volunteered, except in the pepper bed. Birds. I'm so bummed though, baby. I might pick one. I might try and transplant it. I'm gonna try and do that. because I really did want ground cherry and I was actually bummed I didn't have any. That is a ground cherry. One did volunteer. Oh, I'm so excited, but I am still gonna plant more over here. All right, so I put some more ground cherries in here. I pruned back that lavender. Here is all of it right there. And we will see what holds. I'm just glad that we'll get one, because I know for sure the one that volunteered will live. Look at these. So here are some blueberries. I missed a lot of the blueberries while we were in Napa. So that is it for right now. Squashes are doing well. Peppers are getting there. Tomatoes are struggling. Strawberries are struggling. Strawberries are pretty much done though now. I mean, there's a few berries in there, but like I said, just hoping that those will come back and that just the top is dead, not the root. And I need to get in here and weed and take care of more of this, but so that's it for the little bit of the garden tour. But I'm gonna put up the shade cloths for the tomatoes right now and the few that I have, because it's going to hit about 108 tomorrow. And I want to make sure those are protected and safe. So let's do that. Look what I just found. So cute. On that note, here's the shade cloth. I am so filthy. And I mean, look at my arms. See my arms? They're just... I am gonna go... I literally look like I have a mustache. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a really blessed day. And from my chaotic, messy self to yours, be blessed. Thanks for watching.